you're someone who's interested in project management and you're looking to take the PMP, here's a video on how you can pass the exam on your first try. So as many of you know, I recently took my exam early October and I passed above target in all 3 domains. I got so many comments, so many messages asking me what study materials did I use, the price of the exam, the methods I used to pass the exam. So I figured it'd be a great time to put all of that in the video and give you guys the tea. So I've gathered, for the most part, all of your questions that you've had for me. If I happen to leave anything out, please feel free to write in the comment section or send me a private message to ask the questions that I may have left out. Question number 1, how much was the exam? Now this happened to be the number 1 asked question, and the exam fee is $555. If you sign up to become a Project Management Institute member, they will take off $100 from the exam. Now, I know you're probably thinking, in a way, it's the same thing, right? You're paying $100 and something for the membership and then $400 and something for the exam. However, in my opinion, you get a 2-for-1 bundle. You don't just get the exam paying the $500 and something. They're also giving you project management resources. Question number 2, what are the exam requirements? Now, they do require to have 36 months of project management experience if you have a degree. And if you do not have a degree, they require you to have 60 months of experience. Now, I don't want you to get discouraged thinking like, I have not been a project manager, let alone I don't have the time that they're requiring of me to take this exam. But don't worry, my PM babies, okay? There is still a way for you to kind of transition a lot of your past experience language into project management. You have worked with a team, no matter how small, no matter how big. There was a goal, there was a deadline, right? And you guys had to come together to create what the success of this project or whatever you were working on looked like. You worked on a project. So just keep that in mind when you are reviewing and revamping your resume and you're going over your past job experiences. Now, there is one other thing that you'll need to do in order to apply for the exam, and that is take your 35-hour PDU course. Now, there are tons of resources out there in which you can take this course, which leads into my question number 3, what study materials did I use? I think it's also best to note that in coming up with your study materials, it's also best to kind of analyze what kind of learner are you? I know for me, I am a person who learns from reading books. I tend to get spaced out auditorily when it comes to watching videos or having to sit online in a class and listen to someone talk and give demonstrations for hours on end. That's not the type of learner I am. I use Udemy, which is one of the top rated educational huts. I took Andrew's course, and Andrew is also one of the top rated project management professionals in this field. Highly, highly, highly recommend taking Andrew's course. Next, after completing my 35-hour Udemy course, I ended up reading the 7th edition PMBOK. This is pretty much an overall arching knowledge base area of what takes place in project management. Next, which I believe is probably my holy grail of what carried me through this PMP journey, was the PMP Reddit forum. I've used this group more than I've used any of my socials in my 90 days of studying for this exam. Holy grail, okay? Holy grail. There are people coming in here dropping practice questions, asking for PM advice, or dropping in articles and dropping in videos. I mean, there are tons of resources in this PMP Reddit forum. And crazy enough, I feel like I'm a part of such a beautiful community just from joining this Reddit. So PMP Reddit forum, get it, join. You won't be disappointed, okay? Next, I use David M's YouTube videos related to project management, and these videos will become super helpful for you when it's time to do practice exams and answer project management questions. Top tier. Next is studying the mindset, okay? If you talk to anybody project management related and it comes to taking that PMP exam, they're gonna tell you mindset, mindset, mindset. What is that? The objective of mindset is for you to already go on the exam thinking like a project manager. what steps to take, how to navigate team conflict. Andrew, the project management professional, explains this greatly in his 35-hour course. So if you end up utilizing Andrew's course on Udemy, I highly recommend going through his mindset section a couple of times. A little repetition never hurt nobody, okay? Okay. Now, another great main tool that I use was Study Hall. Study Hall is provided by the Project Management Institute for us to study for the exam. It gives practice questions, it gives lessons, it gives you flashcards. I mean, you name it, you can find it in Study Halls. Study Hall is what I used the last 2 weeks of my exam, and I went through questions after questions after questions after questions. I've probably answered over 700 to 1,000 questions related to project management. So when I tell you that this resource gets you prepared, this resource gets you prepared. By the time I took my exam, in my opinion, Study Hall was a lot more challenging than the real thing. In my opinion, I think that kind of prepped me in a way because I was expecting that level of difficulty when I took the exam. Please note that everybody's exam is different. Question number 4, how long did I study? I studied for about 90 days. As soon as my exam was approved, I immediately went in and put an exam on the books. As soon as July came, I made a study plan, broke that study plan down into weeks. Once you put a date on the books, this is gonna help you tremendously with being more consistent and proactive in your studying. You're either gonna procrastinate or you're gonna keep pushing that exam out. I broke down what those 90 days will look like by weeks and the materials. Put an exam on the books, put an exam on the books, put an exam on the books. Once you put the exam on the books, you'll have more structure. Question number 5, exam difficulty. And again, this goes back to talking about Study Hall. I felt personally that Study Hall was more difficult than the actual exam. This does not take away from the fact that the exam was easy. It was not easy. That was a long, hard 4 hours. However, Study Hall definitely prepped me in preparing for the exam. So I promise you, like, if you take these tips and utilize these materials. I have tons more materials. I won't lay them all out here, but I have tons and tons of materials that I can absolutely share with you guys. If you need more, would like more, feel free to reach out to me. I have tons and tons of resources. I only really laid out what I felt is most important and what is mostly used in helping people pass for their PMP, but I got you if you need more resources.